Hello everyone and welcome back to our Rogue Trader playthrough. This is episode number 58 and the final episode of this recording chunk. Last time we dealt with a pretty disturbing briefing where we learned that the Cicatrix Maledictum has basically wiped out all stable warp routes, meaning we are in Imperial Nilius, and we've got to adjust accordingly. Point of interest. Redeployment. That's fine. Enduring zone. Oops. J is Iconoclast. Okay. Obviously she's... Oh, she's already got all of these. Okay. I'm gonna make her a Vanguard. Rockreet. How about a las weapon expert? These people are speeding by. Nerves of Steel. Kata, Bounty Hunter. Heinrichs. Ooh. I like that one. Arch Militant, always ready. Adira. Perfect opening. Abelard. And Pascal. Crossfire, please.
To what do I owe this visit?
Not gonna do that. Not gonna do that. Cult of the Final Dawn.
The cult's ordinary members are humans who have been corrupted by the archenemy, traitors to the Imperium, and accomplices of chaos. Participation in the cult's rituals always entails brainwashing, literally and figuratively. The longer cult members spend among other cultists, the less critically they think, and the more closely they resemble obedient livestock, stripped of their fear and instinct for self-preservation. The worst of them go to their deaths without an inkling of doubt, ready to take hundreds and thousands of souls with them. As for those at the top of the cult's hierarchy, we have not yet managed to get a lead on all of the cult's leaders. I imagine that some of them are hiding in the depths of the Coronis Expanse. But those who are orchestrating the fanatics on nearby worlds are hiding very well indeed. Or receiving protection from above. I need to confirm the reports from my agents. According to them, one of the cult's leaders is in the Kiava Gamma segment, an industrial world within the dominion of the Valancius Dynasty. I hope you won't impede my investigation.
I wouldn't dream of it, because I want this to be dealt with. I think the way I'm going to go is I'm going to go Janus, because that gives us more power on footfall, allowing us to kind of help with the administration part if need be. Then we need to go to Kiava Gamma and then back around to the capital. What do you mean protection from above?
Governors, commanders, rogue traders. History is full of those who neglect their duty to the Golden Throne and seek allies in the wrong places.
Unfortunately.
We discovered the first traces of it as soon as we arrived in the Coronis Expanse. Since then, the more we learn, the better we see just how far the roots of this blight extend. Destroying individual cells is pointless. We must cut this beast off at its head.
Sounds good.
As you wish. Yes, but not here. I wouldn't want our conversation to be gossip fodder on the bridge and in the officers' mess.
Okay, let's see what this is about. Thank you for finding an opportunity to talk. I trust now will be a good time to explain the reason for my return aboard the ship. I welcome the chance to assist the Inquisition with its inquiries, Von Kalox. Lord Captain, your enthusiasm is commendable. Interrogator smiles, but his eyes remain cold. To business, then. The Cult of the Final Dawn, the madmen preach their heretical doctrine among the denizens of the Kronos Expanse and instigate crimes against the throne and humanity. One such crime took place in your protectorate. The Lord Inquisitor considered it necessary to have one of his acolytes accompany the rogue trader on the voyage into the corrupted region. I also need to meet with one of my observers on the capital world of your domain. Why would the Order of Xenos agents investigate a chaos cult? You are well versed in how the Inquisition is organized, Max Schreiber. Yes, initially our arrival in the Kronos Expanse was dictated by the need to fight Xenos, but there's more. The cult is tangentially related to my main specialization. Perhaps I will be able to reveal the full truth someday, but right now I ask you to display humility and patience. You have spies on the Von Valancius worlds. Person I mentioned is not a spy, but a secretary in the Administratum Department on Dargonis. The planet's governor and Theodora are fully aware of his status. His duty is to fulfill the sacred oath of the Golden Throne and eliminate threats to the Imperium, which the Kronos Expanse has in abundance. His name is Achilles Scalander. As soon as we contact Dargonis, I will introduce you as the new head of the dynasty. I'm sure you will appreciate the presence of such an advisor among your subjects, and I suggest you heed his words at least occasionally. Oh no, I will trust him because I'm sure he's fine. I want to know more about the cult. So yeah, Chaos Worshippers most often whips agents of the throne run into lone renegades, stirring up the rabble, insane prophets and hysteric visionaries preaching the end of days. Passing Comet, a mutant rebellion, and onslaught of monsters. Each time they come up with a new reason why people should prostrate themselves and quiver in fear. Much effort and blood of those loyal to the Golden Throne were spent before we established the connection between those heretics. However, the Cult of the Final Dawn is something greater than a gaggle of misguided seers and fortune-tellers. They cleverly spread their agents all over the Kronos Expanse, disseminating heresy among honest people on Imperial worlds. There's a certain strategy to their actions that changes whenever we get too close. Finally, they have enough military power to have had the 2 ships that we had sent after them later discovered as wreckage. The growing difficulty in making warp jumps is detrimental to us, but unlikely to inconvenience those who engage in vile sorcery day in, day out. Heinrich sighs. After the events on Reichad Minoris, I suspect the cult might have built its nest inside Winterscale's domain. The latest reports indicate that it is your protectorate that is harboring heretics. Being in your entourage improves my chance of getting closer to their secrets. Already agreed to give you a place aboard my ship. What else? Rogue Trader should deliver me to the system that contains the industrial world of Kiava Gamma, then accompany you to the surface and determine what the cult is planning and how it intends to use the resources that have fallen into their clutches, which very well may include the blessed engines of the Adeptus Mechanicus and even the followers of the Omnissiah themselves. No wonder he wants us to be so far off. Or like so far away from everyone else. I'll be frank. The answer to this question is unlikely to please either of us. The machinations of chaos usually go beyond solely inflicting countless deaths and destruction. Having their plans come to fruition would lead to far more terrible consequences. One of the systems in the Kronos Expanse is already lost. May the Emperor protect us from watching this tragedy play out again. Why do your suspicions fall on Kiava Gamma? Disjointed pieces of data that finally merged into a single picture. Oh my god, my door's lock is so bad. Close the door. The lock is so broken that it just pops open again. Additionally, not long ago, a vessel from that world arrived on footfall. The reports from the crew were confused and alarming, making me fear a planet-wide rebellion. We met a Chaos Space Marine on Reichad Minoris. Do we risk running into his brothers? I have no doubt it will happen sooner or later, Max Schreiber. Chaos Marines siding with the cult is very, very bad news. Most likely they kept away until recently, pulling their puppet strings from a respectable distance. These traitors seldom show up alone. Best we can count on is having to deal with just a squad of Chaos Space Marines in the Kronos Expanse and not an entire company or warband. Won't let anyone throw their weight around on my worlds, be they servants of Chaos, Xenos, or heretics. Commendable aspiration for a person who holds the fates of billions of people, dozens of imperial worlds in his hands, which is why you need to be ever more vigilant when looking for the seeds of corruption on your planets, lest they sprout someday and spell doom for whatever is tangled up in their roots. That is enough discussion about the archenemy's servants. Tell me about the Drukhari who stole Rykad's son. Heinrich winces. The Drukhari, one of the branches of the Eldari, an ancient and vicious Xenos race. Those creatures are a living terror to ordinary people who fall prey to their raids for the simple reason that the victims not killed outright but instead become their playthings. Just as you and I need air to survive, the Drukhari require psychic energy born from torment and pain, which they extract from their captives with uncanny expertise. Their ships, which are difficult to mistake for any other, arrive suddenly and undetected. Their stealth technology greatly surpasses the capabilities of standard Imperium auger arrays. The objective of their raids is never to capture a world or a ship. No, they are only interested in fresh victims. After filling their holds with living captives, they disappear into the webway, a different dimension which conceals their greatest stronghold. Komara, the dark city of the Drukhari, from which none can hope to escape. Heinrich studies your expression. Don't know why the Drukhari stole Rykad's son and brought about the fulfillment of the cult's prophecies. Perhaps the Xenos themselves have played into the archenemy's designs, or perhaps Aurora's divinations, in fact, describe Drukhari's actions. There's only one thing I can say with absolute certainty. There is no alliance between the cult of Final Dawn and Xenos. It is simply impossible. I'm a little concerned about that because we have seen Drukhari working with the forces of chaos as long as it's not the forces of She Who Thirsts. Gaunt's Ghosts, the Saint. Anyways, let's go about my business. Is there anything else I need to know? Actually, I'm not sure if it was the Saint. Yeah, no, had to have been the Saint, because Sabbath Martyr was book 4. Okay, anyways, let me put it this way. You may think whatever you want of me, but my goal is not to hinder you. I'm here to help you in the fight against foes you may not even be aware of. You have my word that I will provide every assistance in uprooting the heresy that has sprouted on the von Valancius worlds while their master was away. That I will try to be more patient with the less grievous flaws the bearers of the warrant are sometimes known to have. Thank you for sparing the time, Lord Captain. I'm happy to. I trust Heinrichs. He's proven himself to me, and so I'm glad to have him at our side. He's good at what he does. He can help steer us true. Alright, now I gotta find Argenta. Oops. I know where Argenta is, though. Machine Spirits is skittish today. Healer team is required. Rest on fuel deck 3.
Greetings.
Even in stillness, Sister Argenta radiates energy. Her dark eyes shining and a slight blush to her cheeks, she is reciting a prayer and looks at you when she has spoken the final line. I'm waiting for you to tell me about your past and to explain the strange words of that cultist on footfall.
Yes, I'm ready. I would ask only one thing of you, rogue trader. If I may, I would like to see the chamber of the sacred warrant and kneel before the relic touched by the Emperor himself. A difficult conversation lies ahead of us, and I wish to pray by the relic before I lay my soul bare.
Of course, let us go there right away. Argenta nods gratefully. Back to the relic chamber, where last time we got saved from Voigtvir's machinations. When he tried to force us to get the warrant for him, and the machine spirit prevented that from occurring. Genta drops to her knees, her hands making the sign of the Aquila, Her eyes are locked on the sweeping signature on the warrant, a seemingly mundane thing, merely a flourish on a piece of paper, unless no one knows whose hand left that mark and whose blood is on that paper. Argenta, if thou seest the flaw in me, smite me. If thou knowest the fall of mine, burn me. Flames of fury and righteousness, but if thou seest the light in me, grace me. If thou hearest this plea of mine, bless me, with wrath and fury of righteousness. Argenta's voice is sonorous, as if made for singing hymns and prayers, but right now she cannot even seem to catch her breath, so overwhelmed with emotion is she. For I breathe by the will of thine, for I live by the law of thine. I carry thy word, O Emperor. I bring solace to the servants of thine, and ruin to the foes of thine. A fate of terror and righteousness. Upon finishing, she closes her eyes and remains silent for a long time with her head raised high. Slowly, like the first licks of flame in a campfire, a smile blossoms on her lips. Argenta finally opens her eyes. They are alight with uncanny resolution. Rogue traitor, we need to talk. Or rather, I need to tell you something, the truth. The truth about how I ended up on Theodora von Valancius' ship and about the cultists we encountered on Footfall. Please understand, I couldn't trust you before. I'll tell you my story, and you'll see why. Argenta pauses. I'll start at the beginning. It's easier to piece everything together that way. Upon arriving in the Expanse and on Footfall, I found no purpose here. Only torment. I wasn't needed. The reliquary I'd been assigned to safeguard was already well protected by Reverend Hieronymus' mission. No one was even trying to defile it. For all its lawlessness, Footfall respects the worship of the Emperor. That was when Lady Theodora, head of your dynasty, appeared. She became an agent of divine will in a way. Argenta falters, searching for the words. It's from her that I learned about a planet recently discovered by our scouts, Salus Prime. For a rogue trader, the planet was of little interest, a fair world away from convenient warp routes, but for me, learning about its existence was a revelation. Never even heard of such a planet. Does it belong to the von Valancius Dynasty? Yes, the planet is yours by right, but it's not as simple as that. The warp routes leading to it was lost. We'll explain in due time. May I continue? Please continue. The description of Salus Prime was familiar to me. It seemed very similar to a world from an ancient legend, the legend of Saint Argenta and her ship. Voice grows reverent. Argenta, the living saint, she is my patroness. The order named me after her. She died millennia ago when heretics caused her ship to fall from the skies. But even those blasphemers could not touch Argenta's ashes or her holy relic, the One Star. For the fallen ship, which now serves as the resting place for the saint's remains, would only allow the truly righteous to enter. All others would meet their death. Imagine what I felt when this flash of insight came upon me. The world where St. Argenta's ship fell was merely a vague legend. No one knew its actual whereabouts, and suddenly I myself, named after the saint, came across this information. I realized at that moment that it was important that I must journey to the planet and find the ship. And so I asked Reverend Hieronymus to let me go for a time on a personal pilgrimage. I boarded Theodora's ship and demanded passage to the newly discovered planet Salus Prime. Did you keep your supposition from Reverend Hieronymus? Surely he could have helped you with the search for the ship and the saint's remains. I couldn't just come out and tell him. It was important, revealed to me personally, can't you see? I told Reverend Hieronymus the honest truth, that I was going on a personal pilgrimage to embolden my spirit. It really was a pilgrimage. It was as if St. Argenta herself had shown me the way, commanding me to undertake this trial. If I had found the ship and set foot on its decks, I would have laid my hand on her remains, and the relic would have been a sign that I truly had been blessed with the saint's favor. It's understandable. Searching for your destiny, for your place in the world is a special matter, a personal one. You either succeed at it or you don't. So you're dealing with this secret was yours, no one else's. So you don't know what to do about it. Irresponsible. Hubris. Nope. Argenta looks at you somewhat surprised. I thought that I had been called, that finding the ship was my destiny and place in the world. Perhaps there's something to that. Imagine Theodora was thrilled with the prospect. Lady Theodora lent her assistance. It was her intention to visit the newly discovered world. She took me with her. You mentioned something called the One Star. What is it? Apologies, I got so carried away, I forgot to explain. The One Star is the relic kept by Saint Argenta. I belong to the Order of Pronatus, and we attach particular significance to holy relics. The One Star is one of the lost relics of the past, so mysterious that no one even knows what it is exactly. Argenta's hagiography at times calls it a banner, or a set of armor, or a blessed chain sword. One thing is certain, it is a beacon of righteousness, and it was lost with Argenta's death. Something tells me we get to pick which one it is, when we find it. What happened next? Defeat, Argenta says bitterly. The ship's augers failed to detect anything of note during orbital scanning. I was expecting this, though. According to legend, the ship can conceal itself from the naked eye, and only a pilgrim guided by a pure heart can find it. What I didn't expect was an ambush waiting for us on the planet. I landed there with a small unit provided by Theodora. I know St. Argenta's hagiography by heart. I know all the legends about her. I followed their obscure clues, the descriptions of mountains and rivers from millennia-old tales. When I was certain I had found my way to the ship, and that's when we were attacked. Words we heard in the heretic shrine on footfall. Something about ways, doors, please addressed to some lord, the edge of daybreak. Argenta is shaking with disgust. They were the same words as those spoken by the cultists who attacked us on Salus Prime. My whole unit perished, all those honest, brave people I had led to search for the relic. It was only by a miracle that I didn't perish along with them. Didn't connect those events at first. The cultists on footfall, the cultists on Salus Prime, the cultists attacking the ship, and Kunrad's betrayal. What if these are all links in the same chain? What if they've long since infiltrated the ranks of the Von Valancius servants? What if I led those heretics to the sacred planet with my search? Sadly, the only one who might have all the answers, Kunrad, escaped. Oh yes, and I sincerely hope that we will meet him again. That serpent needs to answer a few questions before he is plunged into cleansing flame. I agree. No need to blame yourself. If the heretics really had wormed their way into the Von Valancius ranks by then, they would have found the planet even without you going there. I doubt it. No one except me is particularly interested in the planet. Kunrad, on the other hand, he sympathized with me when I first came aboard. He helped arrange an audience with Theodora and supported me in my effort to visit the planet. I never told him plainly why I wanted to go there, but I imagine that vulture must have figured out that it was something important, something related to the holy faith of the Imperium. What could delight a heretic more than defiling a relic? That's why you didn't trust me before, correct? Yes, Rogue Trader. Argenta looks you in the eye. I saw with my own eyes how a member of your family showed his true colors as a servant of the archenemy, but already suffered a humiliating defeat at the hands of cultists, and was afraid of another betrayal. Couldn't be forthright with you, and so I studied you, looking for seeds of corruption, or the light of righteousness. And what did you find? A man who stood shoulder to shoulder with me and helped eradicate the cultists on footfall. Argenta smiles as if reminiscing about a pleasant evening spent in the company of friends rather than a bloody battle. Although my opinion of you started to change even before then, back when you agreed to talk to the orphans at my request, a leader who's willing to honor those who lay down their lives for them and take care of their children is a leader who inspires trust, and the way you acted in that moment. Do you remember? There was a young man whose grief and confusion had driven him to insolence. You didn't turn a blind eye to your misdeed, but you chose the right words to show him the path to redemption. It was harsh, but necessary, like the Emperor's truth, like bitter medicine that helps the sick. I learned much about you in that moment, Rogue Trader. I want to believe that I wasn't mistaken in my judgment. So just to clarify, you were wounded, so you never found St. Argenta's ship, is that right? Yes, I rushed to Theodora the moment I could walk again and insisted on going back to Salus Prime to defend the relic from the heretics, but I was told that the warp had destroyed the old routes to the planet, and that plotting a new one would take a great deal of time and effort, as if there could be anything more important than protecting the faith and hunting down servants of the archenemy. In any event, the route was lost, and all knowledge of it died in the attack on the ship along with the old navigator. But now we have a new lead. The data we collected in the cultist shrine on footfall, I don't care what the reprobate we executed said, there must be a way to track them down. Tell me, Rogue Trader, will you help me in this undertaking? Will you help me find this great relic and return it to the people of the Imperium? I'm not doing 5. If it's important to you, I will help. Searching for ancient ships and relics is an exciting prospect. Nope. There's nothing I wouldn't do to reclaim a sacred no. The accursed Final Dawn is involved again. It is my duty to help you. That cult must be reduced to ashes throughout the entire Kronos expanse. Genta walks up and places her hand on your shoulder. So be it, Rogue Trader. As I stand here before the warrant, the embodiment of the Emperor's will, marked by his own hand, I vow that I will not relent until the holy relic has been returned and the heretics punished. May the light be with us both on this path. So yeah, we met with Argenta, and that's where this recording chunk is going to end. Thank you guys all for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I will see you guys all in the next one. When we'll find out as soon as we get back. So yeah, we helped out with Argenta and talked with Kalox. So we'll check out the journal first, actually. And we'll talk with Jay afterwards for that business proposition. I wish they had more voice acting. That's my one big knock on Rogue Trader. Journal. Claim what was lost. Yeah, we gotta get Dargonis, Janus, Kiava Gamma. I assume that's gonna be the big thing for Chapter 2. Secrets of the Cult. Bring Heinrich to Kiava Gamma, the Manufactorum. Lucrative Opportunity. Yep. Trade, Protectorate, quests. Strike a deal with an influential partner. Establish a new colony. Complete a development project of the highest difficulty in any colony. So nothing about Salus. Kinda surprised. Dumped cargo, inevitable triumph. Cash in the former lantern. Oh yeah. We've now got contracts, shadowy dealings, favor, fruit for the faithful. Okay, so we're now getting contracts. I assume that's what those extract totem things were contracts. The other thing, we have that letter from the Inquisitor. Let's read that to end this recording chunk and episode. There we go. Handwritten letter with a seal. Esteemed Theodora, a change in circumstances has demanded your... oh no. That's the RADCAD system letter. Letter from Lord Inquisitor Xavier Calcazar. May the Emperor's faithful forever remain in the light of his favor. Let me first express my condolences on the tragic death of the most honorable Theodora von Valancius. Nevertheless, I was elated to learn that the warrant of the rogue traitor has been passed to a worthy and promising heir. These words are not hollow compliments, but rather the Inquisition's official opinion on your person. As fate would have it, you have taken the reins of the von Valancius Dynasty in an hour most dire, when grim portents of dark events are to come are surfacing throughout the Kronos expanse. I have been duty-bound to become the first sentinel who sees the approaching threat, and I hereby alert you that it is indeed coming. Our loyalty and resolve will be tested. People such as you and I will become the pillars that will unite the Emperor's frightened children and inspire them to fight back. So I greet you as my dependable ally and assure you of my favor. From now on, you have a trusted friend within the Holy Ordos of the Emperor's Inquisition and a receptive confidant on whom you can rely. Should the dark times ahead require you to make questionable choices, I have no doubt that such an incident will be examined in an exceedingly temperate fashion that rules out the most radical forms of judgment. I have faith in the success of our partnership and thank you for your contributions, both past and future. Lord Inquisitor Xavier Calcazar. I will do my best to be worthy of that. Because I am a dyed-in-the-wool anti-chaos maniac at heart. Anyways, when we pick up next time, we will be, as this loads, let's see, 29 plus hours in. Until next time.